Let's talk about something people keep minimizing as just dating behavior: ghosting, haunting, orbiting. People talk about these things like they are annoying, like they are immature, like they are just part of modern dating. But let me tell you what they actually do. They destabilize the nervous system. And that is why they can feel so much bigger than people think. Because when someone disappears without explanation, reappears without accountability, or hovers around your life without real contact, your body does not experience that as a small social inconvenience. Your body experiences it as interrupted safety, an unfinished threat, a broken pattern. And the nervous system hates broken patterns. It hates missing information. It hates ambiguity. It hates being pulled into emotional motion with nowhere stable to land. That is why ghosting can feel so disorienting, because it is not just that someone left, it is that they removed themselves without helping your system process the shift. There is no ending your body can metabolize, no conversation to place the experience somewhere, no clear rupture to grieve. Just absence, sudden absence. And sudden absence does something very particular to the nervous system. It creates a search response. The mind starts scanning. What happened? Did I miss something? Did I say too much? Did I not say enough? Are they hurt? Are they coming back? Was it real? Was I stupid? Did I imagine the connection? And because there is no clear answer, your body stays activated. Not because you are dramatic, not because you are needy, because the loop has been left open. That is what people do not understand. Ghosting is not just silence. It is an open loop with no point of resolution. And open loops keep the nervous system searching. Now, add haunting to that. The person who disappeared suddenly likes your story, watches your page, drops a reaction, sends a random message. Not enough to repair anything, not enough to clarify anything, just enough to stir the water. That is not harmless, because now your nervous system, which was trying to settle around absence, gets reactivated. Hope rises, confusion rises, the search response starts again. Not because you are weak, but because your body reads contact as significance. Your body reads reappearance as possible resolution. And when resolution does not come, the destabilization deepens. Then there is orbiting. They do not speak, they do not commit, they do not explain, but they remain close enough to be felt. They view, they watch, they hover, they stay just inside your awareness. And that can be one of the most psychologically exhausting patterns of all, because orbiting keeps someone emotionally present while being relationally absent. And that combination is deeply dysregulating. Your system cannot file them as gone, but it also cannot relax into them as present. So you remain suspended, half detached, half alert, half open, half hopeful, half defensive. And that in between state drains people. It drains their focus, it drains their clarity, it drains their self-trust. Because when someone keeps appearing without showing up, your mind starts trying to make meaning out of scraps. What does that like mean? Why do they still watch me? Why are they here if they do not want me? Why do they keep circling if they are not coming close? And the truth is, ambiguity is one of the most destabilizing things a nervous system can live inside, because clarity lets the body settle. Even painful clarity can be processed. But ambiguity keeps the body negotiating with uncertainty. That is why these modern avoidance patterns can make women feel like they are doing too much over something that looks small from the outside. Because on the outside, it's just an unanswered message, a vanished person, a random like, a silent viewer. But inside the body, it is a disruption without closure, contact without care, presence without safety, signal without substance. And that matters, because the nervous system does not calm down just because something looks minor to other people. It calms down when there is coherence, when words match actions, when presence matches intention, when endings are real, when contact is honest, when ambiguity is not being used as a form of emotional control. Now, let me say something important here. Not everyone who ghosts, haunts, or orbits is consciously trying to manipulate you. Some people are just emotionally avoidant. Some are immature, some are cowardly, some are dysregulated themselves. But their intention does not cancel your experience. And this is where many women gaslight themselves. They say, maybe it's not that deep, maybe I'm overreacting, maybe I should not be disaffected. No, your body is responding to inconsistency, disappearance, and unresolved contact exactly the way bodies often do. The problem is not that you feel it. The problem is that modern dating has normalized behavior that keep people psychologically unsettled while calling it casual. And the more those patterns repeat, the more they can damage a person's ability to think clearly under pressure. Because when your nervous system is stuck in ambiguity, discernment gets harder. You start overanalyzing, you start second guessing yourself, you start investing in fragments, you start mistaking intermittent contact for genuine care, you start hoping where there is no structure, and that is dangerous because confusion makes people easier to keep around. Confusion keeps people emotionally available. Confusion delays decisions, and anything that delays your ability to see clearly can keep you attached to what is not good for you. So what do these behaviors actually do? They teach your body not to trust rhythm. They teach your mind to search for meaning where there is no safety. They teach your heart to attach to interruption. They train your nervous system to brace for instability. That is why healing from these patterns is not just about getting over someone. It is about restoring coherence, restoring internal rhythm, restoring trust in what consistency feels like, restoring your ability to recognize that someone who will renew your life is not the same as someone being fit for your life. Because not every signal deserves interpretation, and not every reappearance deserves re-entry. That line matters because some of you are not struggling to move on because the connection was so deep. Some of you are struggling because the loop was never properly closed, because your system keeps waiting for a resolution that the other person has shown no real capacity to provide. And that is where wisdom comes in. Wisdom does not keep reading emotional static as meaning. Wisdom does not keep mistaking access points for intimacy. Wisdom understands that if someone can only appear in ways that destabilize you, then their presence is not a gift. It is a disturbance. And maybe that is the shift. Maybe the shift is no longer asking, what did they mean by that? The shift is asking, what does this pattern do to my nervous system? Because that question will tell you much more than their signals ever will. This is Redefine Your Narrative, and maybe the narrative you need to redefine is this. Not every return is reconciliation. Not every signal is sincerity, and not every person who reappears deserves renewed access to your peace. God bless you.